All right, welcome back to the Big O, the final bout of day number 2. My name is Chip Queso, and I am joined by the King.
Well, thank you very much.
Great to be here. We are less than 2 minutes for Rose City versus the Texas Roller Girls Texecutioners. A rematch, if you will, of games that they've played before, but it is a new season. We are here at the Big O, and it has been a tremendous event. Glad that you are joining us here on WFTDA.tv. Real quick, since we're about to get started, I'm going to run through the Texas roster, and then I'll turn it over to the King. For Texas, number 02, Shortcut. Number 07, Jackie Daniels. Number 108, Fifi Nomenon. Number 12, DeBella DeBall. Number 15, Trauma. Number 1600, Barbara Ambush. Number 19, Molotov Impale. Number 202, Freight Train. Number 22, Polygon. Number 30, Bloody Mary. Number 420, Stoneher. Number 5, Smarty Pants. 813, Bitter Cup. And 989, Sarah Hyper.
All right, for the Wheels of Justice, you're going to see 127, Jessica Chestnuts. You're going to see 13, Griffin. You're going to see 26, Sarah Gaither. 28, Alicia Nesbitt-Smith. 307, Sharon Shiroson. 365, Copernicus. Number 4, Jess Rivas. 426, Ripley. 48, Felice Brutality. 50, Scald Eagle. 523, Liquor and Split. 7, Monica Gaggle. 77, Lauren Much. And 934, Jamie True.
We are about to get this first jam started at the lowly pivot line. The pack all the way set up. Bloody Mary for Texas in the white with blood red.
And that's going to be Lauren Much. She hit that back of that pack and is engaged that white wall trying to fight her way through.
So both these teams have had a couple of bouts this weekend so far. Texas has fallen 2 games coming in looking for a win. Rose City 2 wins and looking to come out with a third as quickly getting through and lead jammer, first jam for Rose City.
That's right. She got out. Jess Rivas picked up a penalty on that last play. She's camped out in the penalty box. Still up front, Cyrilson, last line of defense, not letting Texas get out until now.
And we've got a forearm penalty on Freight Train. She is off to the penalty box. Meanwhile, calling off that jam, no points for Texas. Looks like 3 points King for Rose City.
Yeah, Lauren Much, very quick. She got around there, she got in there, scored her points, and called it off before Texas could make their way around to get back into that pack.
Now, before this weekend started, everybody was chomping at the bit to look at this Texas-Rose matchup. That is still the case, but wishing that both teams were coming in undefeated. Some people calling this a potential matchup later this year, but there's still a lot of derby to be played here as we go into jam number 2.
Oh, yeah. And there it is, Scald Eagle. Wow, she is quick. Around the outside, she's your lead jammer.
Smarty Pants also threw Scald Eagle up on one leg, lifted her leg around the hit, stayed up. She is so talented, of course, a Team USA player. And actually, when you talk about that, King, there are quite a few Team USA players on these 2 rosters.
Yep, these 2 rosters are loaded with talent. And even more so, there's a lot of other support staff that aren't Team US players that are equally as talented and can easily be at that level.
No doubt, and the coaching staff has a ton of experience. 2 gentlemen, Rob Lobster and Dirty Larry, both with a lot of experience on their own. Rob Lobster's been around with Rose City for a while. Dirty Larry recently moved to Texas and has become a solid part. And speaking of solid part, that is lead jam. First one for Texas, 989, Sarah Hyper.
Liquor and Split, she got in that pack. She's been knocked around, stepped out of bounds. She's got to start again and struggling with that Texas wall.
Sarah Hypel getting 5 points almost if she gets through this pack the hard way, as the other jammer has not made it through. 180 turn, staying in. There is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
She just bounced off the front of Jess Rivas. I thought she was going out. I don't know how she willed her way to stay in bounds. Jessica Chestnut's getting, Liquor and Split getting taken out. She's got to start again way back at the back of that pack. Still not out of the pack on her initial pass.
Sarah Hypel in lane 1 through 5 more points. Still not making it through. Nice assist from Freight Train with the help of Trauma. Sarah Heupel juke move around 360 and 5 more points. That is 15 in this jam.
Here comes the offense. Finally, Liquor has left the pack. She's on her way. They're going to speed up this pack. You're going to see Chestnut, Cyrilson, and Jess Rivas out there in the defensive wall.
Barbara Ambush just gets released from the penalty box as that jam ends with a successful second jam for the Texecutioners. Now, King, we know these teams very well as well as the folks at home, and these are not just your normal Derby team. These are programs, both of these developing junior leagues, rec programs, home teams, and of course all-star level. And now both of these leagues also have a men's component in town.
Yep, that's right. I actually do play for the Bridgetown Menace, who played just on this track 2 games ago. And that's a fantastic program. Speaking of the junior league, this is one of our folks, Fleece Brutality, on the line with a star on her helmet. She came up from the junior league, and she is a fantastic player.
Direction of play, penalty on Stoneher for Texas. She goes to the box. We've got a scrum. Bloody Mary is the jammer for Texas, trying to get through and up front.
Fleece Brutality runs up that inside line. Fleece Brutality's out as your lead jammer.
Bloody Mary getting stuck. Some offense by Fifi Nama. She gets knocked. That's a penalty, a low block on number 7.
Number 7, that's Monica Geigel. That's going to be 2 penalties, actually. He's going to thin the pack for the Wheels of Justice. Alicia Nesbitt-Smith also picking up a penalty, and they'll start this next jam light. 2 players to the penalty box.
That takes Rose City to 9. Texas still 15.
These 2 folks been playing out there for a long time. That's Jess Rivas and Cyrilson, the only 2 blockers for the Wheels of Justice.
Meanwhile, for Texas, it is Trauma. And I cannot see from our vantage point. This is Jackie Daniels, new to the Texas squad, Kara of Windy City. This is her first tournament with Texas. A nice inside move, lead jammer, King.
Yeah, Lauren Mutt, she's very, very quick. She is another one of our junior program peeps that has come out, and she is playing at a top-notch level this year.
Yeah, it is beautiful to see these juniors come up and start playing the adult women's game. Texas, of course, has Luce Bandit on their squad, which was the first junior to develop from a junior program to come into the league. And now we're starting to see the influx as these young ladies start to get older, and damn, they're going to be good.
Yeah, she's been around the adult league for a couple years now, playing with the Rose City Rollers, working her way up. Last year, she was the MVP in the championship game. And really, she's just developed herself to play at that high level. And when you got people like Scald Eagle that help you along with your jamming, that's what happens.
No doubt. 13 to 15, 22 minutes and 50 seconds to go. We've got Sarah Heupel jamming again for Texas. Scald Eagle neck and neck, and that goes to Sarah Heupel quickly, calling it off. It gets a little bit of a high five for Scald.
Well, you got to have love and respect out there. That was a photo finish. They both kind of came out there. They both had to look at the ref and say which one.
Yeah, that is another thing about these 2 teams. A lot of love and camaraderie off the track. Serious business between the whistles, but there is a lot of love between these 2 teams. A lot of friendships, which is obviously one of the great things about the world of Derby.
So far, they're showing how evenly matched they are. Is a 2-point difference. Texas is up by 2. Rose City is at 13. Texas 15.
Sarah Heupel again. Texas content to put her on the jammer line a little more often, shorten that rotation. A lot of defensive movement up front, trying to get through. Texas building that wall, but same thing happening, King, in the back.
This is nice and slow. Liquor and Split is in the back right here trying to fight her way out. And right now this wall going nowhere to let her free.
Now a multiplayer block on a blocker from Rose City. And then a low block penalty on Sarah Heupel. That allows, from Cyrilson on Sarah Heupel. Sarah Heupel lead jam.
And it looks like a cut being called. Yeah, Cyrilson knocked her out. And I'm not sure if there was a low block also called. That was unusual penalties there, but that's going to put 2 blockers in for Rose City and a power jam up, given up there by Texas.
Trauma to the penalty box. I'm sure we'll talk and review a little bit about that because that was an interesting development. No lead jam. Go in the full 2 minutes.
There's 5 players in the penalty box.
And I guess we do have a lead jammer for Rose.
Now the lead jammer signal comes
There it is. They cleared their box, and that's going to be 3 players for Texas still sitting there.
Sarah's standing for Texas. We don't have instant replay, so let's go back. It happened right in front of us. Saracen went low, tripped Sarah, whose foot was out of the bounds. Saracen went down, got called for a penalty. Sarah continues, but then gets called for a cut.
I believe that players had ran back, seeing her step out of bounds. Even though there was a penalty, she still was out of bounds. I believe that is the correct call. Once again, it happened so fast that that's just my personal opinions on the matter. Police brutality, she is out. Man, she is quick, and she's your lead jammer.
So Texas getting a little bit of the penalty bug, which ate them up yesterday against Denver. Nice move, use of toe stops, around 5 points for Rose City.
Picks up the 4 points.
A lot of players come in there banging around. Police brutality going around the outside of that apex. She has been caught and is escorted out of bounds.
Oh, and then a cut track penalty forced by Shortcut and Barbara Ambush. Now also donning the star is Sarah Heupel.
Trauma was taken back, and then she did draw that cut. A lot of hitting going on. 5 points out there on the track.
Of course, Sarah Heupel came out of the penalty box. Shortcut, Trauma, Molotov, Impale.
Jamie True up front. She's the last line on defense. She tries to slow her down, cannot contain her.
So 5 on the board for Texas. 20 minutes and change to go. Quite a few points early on here. Not what we saw in some of the previous games with Texas. I didn't get a chance to see the full games with Rose. Sarah Heupel again around outside, 5 more points. And that is another track cut, 2 in a row for number 48. Not what Rose is looking early on as Texas finding some momentum.
And that's a 1-foot glide around the outside. And that's another 5 points. Heupel getting those points, putting them down, making it look easy. Nice slow pack in turn number 1. She's going to have to really fight for it this time to try and make her way through.
Now, will Texas do some offense? They do. They bring a sweeping with Shortcut and Barbara Ambush. They lets her through inside lane 1. 5 points, and that jam is called. Not before 4 points that were awarded to the jammer as she's still in the box, but because the jam in, she's given those
25-point jam for Sarah Heupel coming out of the penalty box. And that takes Texas to 40.
All right, so here we go. Texas up 40-26. Neither of these teams will be comfortable unless there's 3 digits in that lead. I'm not sure that we will see that, and to be honest, I hope we don't.
You know, I like a good tight game, a little finger biter that we've got to deal with here.
Here we go. Bloody Mary jamming, second rotation for Texas. Quickly, Texas also reversed to defense, is out of the box.
Forearm being called. That's going to be Fifi Namanon taking off the track.
Fifi's having a little bit of penalty issue here. A couple of games this tournament. Lead jammer for Bloody Mary.
Police brutality. She's on her way around, and she has finally breached the pack.
They had to let her go. Texas sets up for some offense. Quickly calling it off. Bloody Mary so very aware as the other jammer coming through. 2 points, Texas.
I was interested to see how Texas was going to come out. I know they had a tough game yesterday against Victoria, and I figured they were going to come out swinging tonight. It's good to see.
No doubt about it. Texas is one of those teams you don't want to play on a loss, but also it's also trying to hit them while they're down. So far, Texas rebounding, forgetting about those previous losses. They know how important this game is. Who can leave this with a win?
Laura Mutch right now trying to fight her way through that pack. She's getting snuffed right now. There's a whole body of people that she's trying to go through, and going nowhere very fast.
They're going to give her a low block. Inadvertent, she fell down. Fifi Namanon fell over her. That is a Low block, regardless.
Wow.
Smarty Pants, the jammer for Texas through. Now, King, that's also something. Texas started jamming Smarty at the tail end of that previous bout, and now they're putting her in the regular rotation. So changing up what they've seen in the other bouts.
The Phenomenon coming in hot and destroying Sarah Gaither. Sarah Gaither still trying to fight her way, and they got her plugged in the back as the GOAT.
Now Texas setting up and then offensive sweep coming from both sides, not quickly stopping to let the jammer finish what she started. Smarty's so good on the edges and around through. 5 more points.
Here comes Lauren Much. She's coming out with a full head, does that nice lateral jump to the inside.
Texas doing a lot of swarming, recycling defense, staying together much better than we saw in the previous bout.
Yeah, they're playing really, really good D right now. That's just going to wear down that jammer if she cannot find a hole to get through. And speaking of which, she found a hole to get through. Lauren Much is out of that pack and on her way around.
Quickly calling it off, though, and getting 3 points is Smarty Pants. And Polygon sent to the box at the tail end of that is the pivot. I did not see the infraction.
And
was it direction of play?
Direction of play.
Here for the Wheels of Justice.
That's the only problem with being on the far side of the track when all the action's over there. You got a wall of officials that you got to look through.
Absolutely. So, folks at home, excuse us if we pause sometimes in getting some of the names. We are at the tail end of the jammer line. Speaking of that, Sarah Heupel, lead jammer. So sometimes it takes for them to get to turn 1 before we can see some of the action.
Scald Eagle is right now in the pack. She hits that outside line, and she did get taken out, but she is free and on her flight path.
Down a blocker.
Sarah Heupel taking a look back, stopping, smart, calls it off. 3 more points for Texas. Happy to eke out any points that they can.
3-0 run. Texas extends that lead out now, 58-26.
Bruce Skate News. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and online at bruisedsn.com.
That's right. On the line, you are going to see Liquor and Split for the Wheels of Justice. Liquor right there. She's got 2 blockers up front that she's trying to battle against, and they're doing a great job right now locking her down.
Those 2 are Jackie Daniels and Fee Phenomenon. Also Polygon joined. That allows Bloody Mary to get through for lead jammer. Both jammers through and eligible. Texas in control. Quickly calling off, see if she got past any hips. She did. 2 points, Texas.
Thinking maybe pick up a point with hopping over the outstretched leg.
Bloody Mary, one of those skaters that is just an anomaly as long as she has been skating. Amazing athlete coming off of a knee injury last year, rehabbing, self-admittedly went a little bit fast to try to get back on skates with that knee injury, but has come back at full strength. It is such a beautiful thing. Nobody wants to have somebody injured on the team. They want to play full strength at all times.
And that's one of those athlete things. You will always push yourself even when you are injured.
Smarty Pants with a nice move on the outside line, turning, getting past that for lead jammer.
Police Brutality finds a hole on the inside. She's free.
Big hit on Sarelson from Trauma. Trauma new this year, or at the end of last year, from Kansas City, also a Team USA player. Smarty Pants through for 4 points.
Police Brutality comes in, and there's the wall that she's been waiting for. She does eke around 2 of them. Still fighting through to find the gap to try and get free of this pack.
Police Brutality just pushing up against that
Bitter Cup, DeBella DeBall out there along with Trauma. Barbara Ambush joining them. Penalty call, high block on Bitter Cup.
And Barbara Ambush coming up.
Police Brutality still out there. Sarelson's bringing the offense. Police Brutality stays on her feet, dances around the apex. This jam comes to an end. 4 points being picked up.
Such an amazing amount of amazing footwork for her as she gets pushed out, stays in line right next to the rope, 1 foot. Beautiful skating.
Right now, we're Rose City sitting at 30, Texas at 66. We've got 12 minutes about left in this game, or in this half. Everyone's lined up down on the jammer line once again. I see Lauren Much there for the Wheels of Justice with a star on her helmet.
And I see Sarah Heupel gets knocked to the inside, so she does not get lead. That goes to Rose.
Lauren Much, she's got the lead jam there. We got a star pass.
Oh, and she is getting a high block penalty as she received it, so she is going as the jammer. That is Jackie Daniels.
Yep.
And we also have, well, the tail end of that. I thought a penalty was called on the jammer for Rose, but I
think she stepped out. She was like, I don't know. She's calling it off. I think she was avoiding a penalty by stepping out there.
11 minutes, 19 seconds, 66 to 35. If you're just joining us and haven't paid attention to Derby, Texas in the white and red, Rose in the purple with silver.
We've
that
got
correct?
Scald Eagle starting off here in a power jam with Jackie Daniels.
Scald Eagle inside. First lead jam, I believe, for Scald, and 3 times she's wore the star.
She comes around the outside, a huge hit, makes contact, shrugs it up like it ain't no big deal, and that's an easy 5 points.
And that was against Polygon, also a Team USA player. Illegal looking for the outside, Bittercup trying to help.
Wow, I don't know how she does it.
Gets through now, Jackie Daniels out of the box. She's got the star, so she is completely the jammer out of the box.
That was great offense up front by Texas. They just opened that hole in the front and let her through. Scald Eagle, wow.
Scald Eagle happy to get the points, but matched 4 points by Jackie Daniels. She's picking up speed, now about a quarter of a lap track. If Texas can just slow her down a little bit, then we can get Jackie, who stays inside, avoiding a cut. Nice piece of footwork, but Scald Eagle through 4 points for Rose.
Yeah, Scald Eagle hit that wall. She did a nice little, she basically used the momentum like an orbit and just came right around the outside of that pack. Right through the middle again. You know, she'll do that. She'll give you a little fake, and she's got those long legs and that lateral movement. Yeah, you don't want any part of it if you're a blocker.
Texas trying to find something. She continues to come in, hit at an angle, and find that space to squeeze through right when she makes that hit. Once again, hitting the side meat of Jackie Daniels, getting her out of position. Same thing with Trauma, hits her in the face, high block penalty. So that is going to be a power jam for Texas.
Well, the Boo Birds have come out for that, but you know, that is, it's bound to happen.
Oh, and a track cut penalty on Polygon, who was given the star as the pivot, knocked to the inside, claiming she was not passing another skater. Nonetheless, penalty called track cut. 2 track cuts from star passes on Texas in the previous 2 jams.
Well, both jammers right now sitting in the penalty box. That is going to be one of those cases where they're going to release one of the jammers. Because as you know, roller derby's no fun without a jammer on the track.
Otherwise, it's just skating around.
That's otherwise, it's couple skate at the local skating ring.
Dirty Larry requests a timeout, pulls his team together, says we need to lock it down. We're ahead. We're making the right moves. We got a little bit sloppy. I don't even want to use that word. We got a little bit loose.
I don't know if it was sloppy. What they came up against was a power jam situation. Scald Eagle was out on the track. She's got that great footwork and that speed. And as you can see, the Wheels of Justice have come within single digits. It's a 6-point game now. And he just wants to rally the troops, cool everybody down. That's a good timeout.
Yeah, good timeout, way to use it. Both these coaches, like I said, very smart. Also, very smart in their use of official reviews, things of that nature. So we are at 8 minutes and 41 seconds, 68 to 74. We are at the tail end of day 2 at the Big O in Eugene, Oregon, the Lane Event Center. And The host league here from Eugene has just been wonderful. There has been seamless. There's been no delays. Everybody's been taken care of. The volunteers in green shirts have been out. They've been pleasant. They've been talking to people.
Oh, yeah.
The whole event has just been well put together.
Absolutely. And it's really, I've mentioned this in the last game, how great this event has become from where it started.
All right, now full complement of blockers. Smarty Pants and Fifi Namanon knock out Scald Eagle. Polygon also out, and as the jammer. Now, she rarely jams, but being a triple threat type skater, they don't have a problem with her having the star.
No pack call. Jess Rivas has to step back to make pack containment. Scald Eagle dances around the outside backwards, and she's your lead jammer.
When in doubt, skate through the back backwards.
Copernicus getting picked up on a direction of play penalty. She'll be spending the next 30 seconds of her life in a penalty box.
Polygon trying to work that three-wall, moving so good laterally. Texas also with a three-wall. Fifi Namanon, Smarty Pants, Bitter Cup, stretching out the pack, water falling back. Polygon up front having a tough time, asking for some offense.
Around the outside, Fifi Namana said, nope, Scald Eagle, you're going to step out right there.
Track cut on Smarty Pants, who was given the star. So third time we've had a pass that Texas has had that pivot go to the box as a jammer.
And that's 5 points by Scald Eagle. Scald Eagle looks like she needs to sit down for a second, catch her breath, have a little bit of Gatorade, and get a fresh jammer out on the track for this power jam.
And I'm sure like you can hear the ambient noise in the room. Those at home, 1 point game. There are people screaming in their living rooms, kitchens, wherever
in
they are.
In their bedroom with their laptop.
Yeah, if you're in the Derby world, you have probably decided not to go to that party or not to go to the bar.
No, you're not even going to go to the bathroom at this point.
No,
it's a 1 point game.
You're somewhere where you can watch WFTDA.tv.
Yes, Blaze Streaming Media bringing you this game right now. Lauren Much in the power jam. The offense has come, but man, they are holding tight. Texas just does not want to move right now.
Texas just being hugely
big hit, Barbara ambush, water falling back, forcing her, trying to kill this penalty. Texas able to do that with jammers such as her, a little smaller in stature. Now Smarty Pants out of the box, stretching the pack. They're going to have to let her go. Then she trips, but not a low block penalty.
She's your lead jammer.
Fifi Namanon went to the penalty box, did not see the infraction. Now
Sarelson out there just barking at the ref. I don't know what she saw or what she needs, but she is not happy.
And 2-2. Wow, that was a lot in just that one jam.
They are saying give peace a chance out there. 2 fingers in the air from both of those jam refs. And it's still a 1 point game.
A lot of times at this point with 5 minutes left, we talk about momentum going into halftime and adjustments, but right now nobody's really got any momentum. Texas had some for a few jams, but then Rose City obviously came back. Penalty bug hit Texas, so it is, like you said, a 1 point game. We've got a official timeout.
Review.
Oh, official review.
I think.
It's been a long day.
I saw a coach running out there. They ran back. I'm not sure what they're looking at right now. I think what they're looking at is making sure the penalties are assessed correctly and that they've got the right points on the board. I see Lobster standing back there, though. He looks like he's going to yep, there it is. He is going to call for it.
And we have to give big shout out to the referee crew and NSOs. We always love how hard they work and the service that they provide, making sure that the game is played correctly and to the rules. Sometimes they're not our best friends. Sometimes we don't necessarily like them, but that's only because of the heat, the passion, and the action that's going on. Outside of that, we are so very glad that they work as hard as they do.
Right. And the official review is coming down from the Wheels of Justice bench.
I'm not sure if we'll get any clarification. If we do, we will let you know what is going on, what the review is for.
I think this is a really good place for both these teams to take a kind of a reset. It's a perfect time for an official review. It gives them time to sit down, take a breather, collect themselves, and figure out what they're going to do moving forward. Rose City right there just had a nice big run. They've gotten themselves right back in this game. Texas slipped a little bit. They've had some penalty troubles, giving up a couple power jams, which allowed this comeback. So I think it's perfect for both sides right here to A, figure out how you're going to continue your momentum, and B, figure out how you're going to stop the momentum of the other team.
Not to mention, as amazing of athletes both of these squads are,
Oh,
nice
yeah.
to have a little bit of a break, catch your legs, so they can really put that forth that full effort for the next 5 minutes and 28 seconds. As the camera pans in on two gentlemen talking about Derby.
Oh, those poor people at home. That's what they get cut with these mug shots. As you're going to see, this next jam is going to start. They got Sarelson sitting in the penalty box and Fifi Namanon.
Neither of them standing, although Fifi less time. She set first. But we will have
right,
3-on-3 with
like
new
Rose City
fresh
has
legs.
called for
Got a little
this
bit of
review
shimmy shake
regarding they are
dancing
asking
by
for
Rose
a
up by the pivot
illegal
line.
re-entry
Well, the Casey and the
penalty
Sunshine Band is playing.
for the
Hey,
jammer
here in Rose City,
for Texas
in the
jam.
Rose City, when Casey and the Sunshine plays, people dance.
Asking for that jammer to be sent to the penalty box.
All right, so it looks like they were looking.
And as there is no jammer in the penalty box, safe to assume they have lost their official review.
So they were looking for an illegal
That is
re-entry
what I
on the
would
white
assume as
jammer,
well.
Okay.
and they
So for the next
lose
5
their
minutes,
official
28
review
seconds, they
because
cannot
the
officially
call
review.
stands.
All right.
Thanks, Rob.
That's what it is. Liquor and Split on the line for the Wheels of Justice.
And Bloody Mary for
There it
Texas.
is. She was hiding behind everybody. Liquor and Split getting escorted out on that inside line. It's got to start again back where she was.
Bloody Mary finding a way through, works it first. Lead jam for Bloody Mary. Meanwhile, penalty called.
That's Gaither. She picked up an out-of-play penalty.
Sarah Gaither on her way to the
Liquor and
penalty
Split
box.
found a lot of
Liquor
day on that
and
inside.
Split is
She's
out
free to
of
roam.
bounds.
Oh, Barbara Ambush took on two, pushed him out to lane 2 and 3. That leaves lane 1 open for Bloody Mary. 4 points, call it off. Let's see if we can build a little something going into halftime.
Well, there's going to be 2 players starting for the Wheels of Justice in the penalty box. One for Texas, and
Anything can happen
that's
at this
going to
point.
be
Probably anything will.
Scald Eagle stepping up to the line for the Wheels of Justice.
Scald Eagle up against Sarah Heupel. 2-on-3 pack advantage goes to Texas. Bitter Cup, Jackie Daniels, and Shortcut.
Scald Eagle jumps us to the left, runs to the right. She goes up around the outside. She's your lead jammer.
Not far behind is Sarah Heupel, about a quarter track back. 3-on-3 now defensively as a flying
She
through
took
the air.
flight. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what Scald Eagle does. Prepare for takeoff. She just did an apex jump right down in front of me. It's kind of like that magic moment when you see a fish jump out of the water or something.
Beautiful thing. Of course, very well known for that, but not just the athleticism, the timing and precise landings that she has.
Her and Sarelson locked eyes. There was just a little bump on that line, just enough room to get her out. Once again, Felicia Brutality taking the line for the Wheels of Justice, and she's just pumping her legs, trying to find a hole to get free.
Number 5, Smarty Pants.
Smarty Pants trying to get through.
And Smarty
Got
bumped to the
a
inside,
line,
recycles
pushed
through
everybody to the
the
outside,
bottom
found
again.
lane 1,
Second
lead
try.
jammer,
She's
Texas.
cleared as your
Yeah,
lead
everybody took her to the outside, and they stayed there. She is just so quick to find that hole.
Trauma waterfalling back along with Barbara Ambush. Stoneherd debelled the ball
jammer.
in the
Beautiful
pack.
footwork by Smarty Pants. Slide
Wheels of Justice did not have their wall together up front, and that is what she did, was ran right through it. And unfortunately, that's another 5 points being put up for the Texecutioners.
And a second 5
Smarty
points
Pants
on
about
that
to hit the
pass
pack
for
again, looking for a third natural
Pants.
grand slam here. As she avoids a track cut spin move the opposite direction on the inside line. 5 points for Smarty, matching the number on her back.
That was incredible. Well, the penalty box is cleared. Everybody's on the track right now. Police Brutality, she's going to bear down on the back of that white wall. Still only 3/4 of the way around that track, and she has not gotten free. Texas defense just vicious right now. They're not even moving.
And
Same thing a little bit up front for Rose City. Trauma for Texas goes to the penalty box. Didn't see the infraction. Nonetheless, now 3 on 4, but we've got a bridge for Rose, as Smarty is trying to get enough push to create no pack.
Going nowhere.
And they just keep pushing, eking every little bit forward. Ripley right now holding the bridge down just to hold containment of that pack together.
Smarty Pants turning around, trying to push. One having to bridge off. So good about moving, staying 9 feet.
Wow. You got to wonder what's it going to give, and neither team gave an inch at that point. Yes, there was points scored, but look at that. She is panting away after that hardcore workout she just had to go through.
Now, we talked about momentum, not thinking anything was going to happen, but now we've got a 20-point advantage for Texas going in with 1, maybe 2 jams left, but 1 for sure.
Yeah.
And Texas cranking it down, so that official review for Rose turns into maybe some fresh legs for Texas.
Yep.
Lauren
Much, she hits the back of that white wall, and wow, she's kind of rocked back on her wheels right now.
Sarah Heupel trying to go lane 4 with her toe stops, has to reset in the back, trying to get through. Pushing so hard, sometimes she gets caught up with some of her blockers also.
Lauren Much, once again, getting rocked around out there. Ends up on the deck, still trying to fight her way through. Oh, man! DeBella DeBall gave her a wallop that would probably break me in half. Lauren Much brushes it off, and she's your lead jammer.
Yeah, a lot of bright spots this weekend. DeBella DeBall being one of those for Texas, as she has done good work. Track cut on Rose. We're going to finish the full 2 minutes. Sarah Heupel is jamming for Texas unopposed.
All the blockers out there for Rose City. And you should be seeing some defense. Jess Rivas right now, she's going to lay down the bridge, maintain that pack, and that's what they're going to do. I think they're just going to try and suffer for the rest of this half if they can.
Now Sarah Heupel moving a lot more laterally. One of the things that they didn't do as good of a job against Victorian is they tried to just set in those walls and push, push, push. Now a lot more movement. Movement creates space, allows open lanes. There you go, 5 points, Sarah Heupel.
That was great movement too. That lateral inside to out. It's kind of like a pendulum.
You just got to work with it, work with it, and you're going to find that seam. Somebody's going to be slightly late on getting through. Tiptoe, toe stop, 5 more points inside. That takes Texas to 109, reaching it to 30-point advantage.
Lauren Much, she served her time. She's back out there. And now she's having to deal with that same type. But Jessica Chestnuts busts open a hole on that side. She's going to pick up 5 points. Lauren Much, not too bad.
Sarah Heupel limbering, getting up very, very slowly there. Nonetheless, she did some work, getting some confirmation from the refs to see if she's okay.
Yep.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Rose City with a few more points, 5 more, 84 to 109. The King. Thoughts?
Well, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. I think this is going to be a game of runs. And what it's going to be is, as long as everybody can keep this game close, it's going to be who has the last run. You're seeing the momentum swing back and forth. Both of these teams are very, very competitive, and neither one of them is going to let this go very easy.
Right, so going into halftime now, it's about adjustments. Are the teams going to come into this and say, okay, we've got to do something a little bit different, or are they going to stick to their game plan? And with not a huge lead, sure, certainly a lead, but 30 points in Derby's not that big of enough lead. Right. Are they going to stick to their guns and do kind of like maybe Denver did, they saw Denver do to Texas, where they just took a few points. All they need is to get to the last jam. It's kind of like a basketball game. Sometimes you turn it on in the fourth quarter. There you go. So we will see what the case is. Everyone is, I'm sure, nail-biting and pinned to their seats, and we cannot wait to get the second period started.
That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. So you've got a few minutes if you need to run to the restroom, because you do not want to miss the second half. We'll be right back after this. And if you can't hear it, you are definitely missing out.
And he went from turn down what into staying alive and just kept the flow going with the dancing audience.
One of the best mixes I've ever heard. It always is that way with this guy.
Hey, there was a first half of Derby. Hope you saw it. Thanks for coming back here. WFTDA.TV brought to you by Blaze Streaming Media. Oh, man. I'm so tired already. 84-111. If you're just joining us, don't think that Texas has been running away with this.
No.
There was a official review called with 5 minutes left.
About 5 minutes.
By Rose. Gave everybody some fresh legs. It was a 1-point bout at that time. Then Texas has run away, if you will, to what you see, 84-111.
Well, there's one player, that's Jessica Chestnuts, who's camping out in the penalty box to get this jam started. You're going to see Scald Eagle on the jammer line, and she's going to be going up against Bloody Mary.
The wheels of justice.
This jam is underway. Scald Eagle goes running out. Fifi Namina meets her, and Scald Eagle stays in bounds. Once again, I don't know how these hits are so big.
Bloody Mary trying to get through for her initial pass. The Scald Eagle says, if there is a half an inch, I'm going to make my way through. She does. 4 points. A little bit of stats from the previous half for the ladies in purple. There are, number 50 has the most leads. Number 50 also has the most points, so that's Scald Eagle.
It goes without saying.
11 leads to Texas has 10 leads. Number 30 has the most leads. That is Bloody Mary, of course, and 989 is Sarah Heupel with the most points. So a few of those stats. Thank you. Here we go into the next jam. Smarty for Texas.
And that's Lauren Much. She is just pushing Jackie Daniels up and trying to get around. One player left to beat. Wow, what a great move. Lauren Much is your lead jammer.
Kind of almost a can opener on Jackie Daniels.
Breaks out in front of the pack.
No, Lauren Mulch in again, going to lane 4, looking to go from lane 4 to 1. She gets tripped up.
That's going to be a low block on Jackie Daniels, and Lauren Much still stuck in the back of that pack after that.
Jammer takedown by DeBella DeBall and her backside, and then a track cut forced by the sneaky Barbara Ambush, unseen, so power jam for Smarty Pants and the Texecutioners.
Wow, and a huge hit, but it did result in a forearm. What?
Out of play penalty, I believe, was the call.
Okay.
Had the chop
DeBella
motion.
DeBall, she's going to the penalty box. You are right on the call, but I don't think that's what he meant to call. Either way, it don't matter. Bloody Mary. Smarty Pants, my apologies. Smarty Pants up. She had one player left to beat, and she is now free out of that pack.
So Barbara Ambush to the penalty box as Jackie Daniels is released. DeBella DeBall still sitting. I believe this is DeBella's first penalty of the entire weekend.
Jackie Daniels came in there with a load of offense. Oh, she picked up a back block penalty. And that's too bad. That looked beautiful.
Now 5 points were awarded to Smarty Pants. Now 5 points for Lauren. Smarty Pants not able to call that jam as DeBella DeBall goes for a hit a little too far out in front of her. Couldn't catch that.
Wow, that was like Superman. She dove out there trying to get it. Lauren Much getting the backside of that jammer. Smarty Pants putting her down with her Smarty Pants, and that jam comes to an end.
So definitely some adjustments for Rose City as they have come out hot. Texas, however, changing up their jammer rotation, putting in Freight Train. You might know her from Houston Roller Derby, recently moved to Austin from Houston, and they have been jamming her quite a lot. She would be considered a power jammer as far as Texas is concerned, so this is the first time on the line for this bout for her.
There's a pack advantage. There's only 2 blockers out there right now for Texas.
Not able to get anything. Freight Train.
Scald Eagle trying to shrug off players. She's got one left to beat, does it on 1 foot. She's your lead jammer.
Freight Train having a tough time. She is such a powerful player. Finally gets through, but lead is still in favor of Scald Eagle, who just gets a couple of hips, continues to skate backwards, calling it off.
That's the way to do it. You're just going to chip away at that lead. It was 20 points. It should be down to 16, and that's what it is.
So what did we say just a few minutes ago?
It's not
like we've never seen Derby before.
Exactly what we expected.
Yep.
Rose coming back and bringing it a little bit closer. Now Texas lining up Bloody Mary.
That must be.
And
liquor
very
and
low,
split
I
up there?
believe that is, that's
believe
it,
it
that's
is.
what it
Nice
is.
to have the
Liquor and
hometown
split on the
fans
line.
Here to yell at you.
She has a real definite way of skating, and she is out first as your lead jammer.
And to cheer for you when you break free is
Bloody
Little
Mary
Jammer.
not successful getting through as of yet here in this jam, already hitting the pack.
I think I'm
Is
just gonna remind
Rose.
the crowd to
Penalties
let me
being
know who's
called.
jamming.
A multiplayer on Stone
Trying
Her.
the inside
Yep.
spins to the
Now Bloody
out.
Mary converting to defense as a jammer. She hasn't made her way through, so try to help Lauren Much get through. She does. 5 points and a penalty
On
on
trauma.
trauma.
That's trauma. That's 5 points on for liquor and split, and they are eking ever closer back in this game again.
Oh, there she goes.
Bloody Mary
Gets around
finally
Sarah
through, and she is given a back block penalty.
She's going to the penalty box.
That's going to be a power jam. Liquor and split's going to go ahead and call it after picking up another 5 points.
So here comes that penalty bug for Texas,
And Bloody Mary
letting
being
Rose
assessed
City
with the
all the
extra
way
penalty
back within 6
for
points.
not clearing
All right,
the
kids at
track
home,
quickly enough.
let's do some math. It's 6 points.
Sit for the
We got
full
single
minute.
digits again in this game. If this doesn't make you excited, I don't know what does.
People are screaming at home, up in their
117,
chairs
111,
from all over
6-point
the country.
game.
I am sure
Really
there are
4
watch
minutes to
parties
go.
up
Lauren Much.
at Rose's home. I know there's definitely watch parties in Austin for Texas.
2-on-4 pack advantage.
And just like that, Laura Much takes advantage of that depleted pack of Texas. She's your lead jammer.
She's our lead jammer.
Shortcut being goaded by Rose. Barbara ambush lane 4 can't get to lane 1. Stone Her rejoins, now trying to form some kind of a wall, but
Get your drinks ready.
And they finally call a little bit of defense, stopped her for a second. There went the offense, though. Sweeping to the inside, opened up a hole. We have a lead change. It's a 4-point difference separating these teams, but Rose City is up.
Just a few.
121 to 117 before that pass. Add 5 to that. That's 126 for Rose.
I don't know if you can hear it at home, kids, but this crowd is rowdy right now.
Stone Her, nice force out.
Recycled back.
Wow.
Stone Her 2 years ago was with Tallahassee, also moved to Austin.
2 more points being picked up at the end of it, and it's an 11-point game.
Texas,
So Texas stuck on 117 here for a couple of jams, 22 minutes and 55 seconds to go. Scald Eagle lining back up as Bloody Mary is standing in the penalty box. As far to the edge as she can as soon as she is released.
Scald Eagle jumps for the outside, immediately attacks the inside. Everybody's trying to just pound away and stop her. So far, they're doing not a bad job.
Scald Eagle trying to Fifi Naman on Polygon. Jackie Daniels in there trying to force Bloody Mary out of the pack, trying to get through. Lead jammer goes to Scald.
It's just an absolutely all-star lineup right there that you just called out. And a forearm called. That's Bloody Mary. She's headed to the penalty box once again. And I don't even know what I'm seeing. Scald Eagle just did a spin around 1 foot on the ground. 4 points scored there.
6, but I think the rest of us gave her a 10.
Scald splitting the pack 2 and 2, takes that space in between. 5 more points.
5 points through for
Texas,
Scald Eagle, stretches out
both
Rose
squads
City
with
over
all
37,
4 of their players, but Rose City
20-point
just moving them out of the way, not keeping the solid walls that they need to hold back somebody at the caliber of Scald Eagle.
And right now, Rose City, you're up by 142. Texas is at 117. And what did I say about a momentum? It's going to be all about the runs.
So here you have it, coming out of halftime, down by 30 points. You can't stay down if you get 6 lead jams in a row, and that's exactly what the ladies in purple have done.
And they've been capitalizing off those power jams. There's Bloody Mary. She's been to the box twice there in a row, and I do believe there was another power jam to set that up in the previous jam also. Penalties, you got to keep everybody on the track.
It's what's so frustrating and so beautiful at the same time. Texas finding a way to pull ahead, and then just Rose City coming back and now taking advantage. Now Texas looking up at Rose with that point difference. Still a ton of time to go. Texas huddled up, talking, ready to go.
Great timeout. It really is. It's a perfect timeout for them. They had done everything excellent in that first half. They came out flat, and penalties were really playing the part in that. So now they've got to reset, get themselves all back together, and get back out on that track and make something happen.
And they need to get Bloody Mary through and on the track. They need to get a new set of legs with the star on the helmet, as this will be her third jam in a row as a jammer. Now she gets to sit and think about it, but still not getting the normal rotation that she would see if there was not those penalties.
There comes Lauren Much. She's running up that inside. Now she's going to the out. They've got her. They snapped her, closed that trap, and she is now on the deck trying to figure out how to get through.
Now Rose City decided not to play any O. They were waiting for Bloody Mary to come out of the penalty box. Texas trying to hold that scrum at the front of the pack. Both sets of packs of skaters within 2 feet of each other.
And that's the reset I'm talking about. See that timeout? They got everybody on the track back on the same page. That defense has not gone anywhere, and we've only gone a quarter of the way around the track.
Bloody Mary finds a gap, almost getting through, gets pushed to the outside, but then lead jammer on the inside goes to Rose. Bloody Mary is out as well, but 7th lead jam in a row for Rose City.
That was intense. All right, Laura Much gets tapped out to the inside, and 1 point being picked up by her. She calls it off before any points being scored by Texas, so good heads-up play there.
Texas sitting on that 117. Saw something very similar with Denver. They got stuck on, I believe it was 90 for somewhere like 6 or 7 jams before they could get back into it. See if they can stop the bleeding here, as they've got a 3-4 advantage with Searleson in the penalty box for Rose.
Licker and split on that line. She goes right for the middle. Wow, she is out fast. She just pumped those legs to freedom.
Now Smarty Pants also through as she is the jammer. Texas recycling back to try to form that wall again, to try to give some space as she gets 3 points.
3 points.
Smarty Pants was
impressive.
Yeah, Smarty was about 2 to 3 feet when that was blown, so no points awarded for her.
I thought she was going to get a few points at the amount of speed she was coming down on the back of that pack with.
Texas started up by the lonely pivot line, then scooted back about 15 feet, now all the way back to the jammer line.
Freight Train, Scald Eagle, those are your jammers in this next pack.
19 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in this second period. What a fabulous bout this has been so far.
Anywhere quickly.
Freight Train trying to take that inside line. Jessica Chestnuts was trying to stop her. She went out, and nobody can stop her there.
Freight Train gets out, finally gets some feet under her. DeBell the ball, knocking Scald Eagle out. No pass, no penalty, so that allows her to get, but she has not gotten through. Freight Train past Scald, so we'll see if she gets the jammer lap point. She calls it off, and she does. 5 points for Texas.
High five in the air.
The pivot lost her cover there.
Wow.
That was great.
Just amazing derby. The pivot for Rose lost her helmet from the scrum earlier. Of course, there's no penalty or no anything for that. She just lost the star. The stripe.
It is roller derby. It is rough in there.
Bloody Mary back on the line, so Texas content to put her back in.
Lauren Much also on the line.
Heupel on the sideline now, not with equipment on, so she must have gotten injured at that final tail end of the first period. So Texas without Sarah Heupel.
Really tight defense in the back. Looks like a forearm being picked up on Nesbitt Smith, and Shielby's going to the penalty box.
Bloody Mary now up front trying to push, splitting 2-3, recycling that 3-wall triangle, kind of we're going to call it the VRDL formation.
A forearm being called on Lauren Much, and she is headed to the penalty box. That's going to be a power jam for Texas.
And Bloody Mary gets through, a little help from Shortcut on the lane 4. Bloody Mary through lead jam, and it's going to be a power jam for Texas.
Oh, and there's a lot of purple shirts right now in that penalty box. There's only 2 out on the track. And it's going to be rough to try and keep those points down. Great opportunity for Texas right now to climb themselves right back in this game.
But now we've got a micro pack, 2-on-2. No, I'm sorry, 3-on-2. Now 3-on-3 as another blocker. 4 rows gets out, but not before Bloody Mary gets through 5 points, including the 2 in the box. 4 rows. Jammer standing 4 rows.
Here comes the D. She hits the middle of that triangle and is trying to hold on. And it looks like they stopped her.
Now Bloody Mary's so smart. She knows the jammer got out. She knows the jammer got through, and she knows she needs to call it off because it was only the initial pass. She does, and that was a good jam by Texas.
That was a good jam by Texas. Now, how important was that timeout? You've seen Texas's defense. They were kind of spread out. Now, ever since that timeout, they are a locked unit. He got them all back on the same page, and they are playing like a well-oiled machine right now.
That being Dirty Larry for Texas as the coach. Bench coach is Mishavu. Long time to, again, very experienced skaters. Smarty Pants jamming for Texas.
Liquor and Split right now. She's trying to hit that defense I was just raving about. And still, she is stuck. Jackie Daniels' last line of defense, forearm being picked up by Bittercup.
And
Smarty Pants having a tough time getting through. Now has to be careful about getting that jammer lap point. Trauma does a great job of forcing her all the way back almost to the jammer line. Smarty Pants looking back, trying to push through with her right shoulder. Side to side, step, toe stops.
Jess Rivas picking up a penalty. She's going to be heading off the track. That's going to deplete the pack, leaving 3 blockers out there for Rose City.
Shimmy, shimmy, shake for Smarty Pants. Goes down to a knee, back up, adjust that knee pad, side to side, around, backwards, and through. That is her initial pass. A tip-toe.
Yeah, she did. Man, I was impressed. She picked up 4 points on there. Saracen came back, kind of give it a little bump, just enough space. I didn't think it was enough, but it was for Liquor and Split to get through.
151 to 134, so Texas eking back into this. Just under 15 minutes to go here in the second period. I believe if we get a tie or a lead change, the roof may blow up in this building.
Freight Train versus Scald Eagle once again.
Freight Train, Scald Eagle. Scald Eagles had a lot of lead jams. Freight Train got the last one against Scald.
Scald Eagle just bearing down on the back of that pack. Here comes the lateral movement that I love so much. And there's a pile up on the pivot line.
Freight Train almost gets a track cut. Was able to get back and not get that track cut. She gets through on the inside. Lead jam for Texas. Scald Eagle about 10 feet behind her, maybe
Texas.
15.
Texas only had 2 blockers out there, Fifi Namina, and that was Barbara Ambush. They did a great job locking her in.
And 2 and 2 because of the legs and jumping of Scald Eagle.
That's incredible. That really is.
Nonetheless, Texas has started to come back into this. They've shifted the intensity. You mentioned a little bit about the flat coming out of halftime. They've shrugged that off.
Yeah,
now.
they ain't flat no more. They're definitely playing a much, much better game. And is there going to be an official review?
I'm not sure, but Rob Lobster is out on the track.
I'm not sure if he threw his O up there. But, yeah, no, there's definitely been a shift after that timeout. They are playing some much, much deeper defense, and that's where Freight Train got out first. Scald Eagle, who has been leading the way with lead jams, she did not get out first, even with 2 blockers out there.
Bloody Mary for Texas.
Or much out there. She found a hole in the middle. She's free, and she's your lead jammer.
Pushed everybody out to lane 3 and 4. That included her own players. That kept lane 1 and 2 open. Orin much juke move. Bittercup got caught standing. And another penalty track cut on Bloody Mary. So we've got another power jam for Rose. Big hit by Stoner.
That hip came out of nowhere. I didn't even see it coming.
Yeah, Stoner has this thing where it almost looks like she can dislocate her top half and her bottom half, and that was successful. But on this one, not as successful as she finally gets through 5 points, as Stoner now, previously just talked about, is in the penalty box.
Oh, and another huge hit. Lauren Much. No pass, no penalty. That's 5 points. Okay, but
I think she was awarded the 5 points. The no pass, no penalty was
special.
Special.
It was a special call. We're just going to go with that.
Texas recycling back. Bloody Mary back in the mix. She has not made, no, I believe she has made her initial pass.
Lauren Much does a nice loop-de-loo around the outside. She ends up on the deck on the in, though. And a forearm. There's a forearm call on Lauren Much, and they're giving up another power jam here.
So we're going to finish the 25 seconds of 2 minutes. That was the initial pass for Bloody Mary. She gets one, going for 2 and 3, not counting the jammer in the box.
Jess Rivas and Chestnuts break through that wall of blockers that they had for Texas. They tried to rejoin their pack, but here comes the O from Texas, which is just phenomenal.
Smith, Rivas there in the mix.
And that is the end of the jam. 4 points awarded for Texas and 2 given to Rose for the jammer, who is now standing in the box.
Rose City right now sitting at 71 points. Texas right on their tail, sitting at 140. We got 11 minutes around in this jam, in this game, I should say. And it's, if you're not excited, if you're not enjoying this, well, this might not be your sport.
So we've got some cheering going on, quite a bit of purple in the house. Smarty Pants jamming for Texas, almost getting that inside line. Finds that through. Lead jammer goes to apparently Rose City.
Yep, Laura Much got it. She had to hurdle Alicia Nesbitt-Smith, and wow, it scares me when I see things like that, but it was absolutely fantastic. It happened right in front of me.
Trauma got hit down. That opened up lane 4. 4 points for Texas. I'm sorry, for Rose. No points for Texas on that pass.
That's right. Pushes them up 5 more points. 75 now on the scoreboard. We're going to see Liquor and Split down there going up against Freight Train in that blocker or in that jammer war.
Once again, Sarah Heupel not in skates. She must have been injured at the tail end of that first period, so she's now coaching from the sideline. Freight Train in, like you said.
Freight Train thought she was going to get her out of there, and Sarelson just locks her in.
And that is a penalty, a back block on Rose City. So jamming unopposed is Freight Train, seeing if she can get through a multiplayer block.
You don't ever see that. That's crazy. A multiplayer block. That is on Freight Train.
A lot of times what it is that a jammer is going through, they're trying to swim, and as they do that, they're locking arms. The player hits them, and that becomes that penalty there. So
it's a very short-lived penalty.
And Freight Train cuts the
and then she is given a track cut inside. Skate went out. Another jammer penalty for Texas.
And that will be a 30-second.
Not what they need with 9 minutes to go.
I was going to say that's very untimely. I was kind of getting excited there for Texas, but Liquor and Split, only jammer on the track right now. Here comes the O. That inside line opened up for a brief second. She didn't want it. She went outside, got 5 more points.
Texas is going to have to be very careful here. Just enough time to get back into this, but 40 points between these two teams. They're going to have to stay out of the penalty box as Freight Train is standing. She's released.
Jess Rivas sitting in the penalty box once again. There's going to be 3 blockers out there for Rose.
Multiplayer block on Barbara Ambush. She goes to the penalty box. Looks as though she's limbering a little bit there in that penalty box. Initial pass for Freight Train.
Freight Train's got some great jumps on her. She just bounced her way through that pack.
Freight Train may have gotten a point on that spin move before she went out.
Liquor and Split just got ping pong balled around in there. hit the deck, jumped right back up, picked up her 5 points, and this jam comes to an end. Rose City pushing this lead ever farther up with just under 8 minutes left in this game.
And this is definitely when the clock becomes the enemy of the team down, especially with these kind of points. We have not seen any 15, well, we've maybe seen 15, but not any 20, 25, 30-point jams.
Right.
I doubt we will. However, we do have Scald Eagle, and she is going up against Bloody Mary, gives Bloody a bump before she starts.
Wow.
Then Scald Eagle gets knocked down, gets recycled all the way back. Texas Waterfalls, Jackie Daniels is the bridge. Bloody gets on the inside, lead jammer for Texas, but not before Scald Eagle racing about a quarter track behind.
And right now, Purple want to be up front, and that's what they're doing. They're going to try and push the speed of this pack, but no. Sarah Gaither got picked off. 3 points for both squads out there picking up 3 points. Scald Eagle got through lickety split, and Texas was right there too. So
little bit of timing for Bloody Mary. Normally calling that as she goes in. She tried to eke out a couple of more points, called it. You can't do that if a full head of steam is in Scald Eagle, because between the rapid 1 and 4 whistles, Scald Eagle can get a lot of points. A lot, 4, but she got 3 in that instance. Now we got Smarty Pants.
Oh!
Big hit from Fifi Nomenon.
Lauren Much thought she was completely free to go, and off that inside line, Fifi Nomenon leveled her.
Shortcut sent to the penalty box.
Direction of play penalty, I believe, is what it was called. Lauren Much is your lead jammer. And a forearm call, I think, on Sarelson. Or, no, I'm sorry. Forearm call, that was called on Smarty Pants. This is another power jam. Absolutely what Texas does not need right now. Double negatives.
Has been a little bit of the issue with Texas this weekend, getting those leads, playing so strong, and then allowing the other teams to get back into. We've got a direction of play penalty on Trauma.
Sent off to the penalty box there.
That's going to deplete the pack one more time, and as you know, those are 3 points sitting on that penalty box bench.
Keep it together, but that's going to be
Laura Much gets through, scores 5 more points, and they have reached the 200 mark. So right now it's 203 to 146.
Texas once again stuck on a number that they don't want to be stuck on, 146 in this case, as they see Rose stretching it out just a little bit more. 5 minutes and change to go.
Well, Rose City shuffling up who they've got on the blocker war out there. Jess Rivas still sitting in the box. Liquor and Split on the line in a power jam.
Polygon. And then it is a forearm penalty on Rose City just as Smarty Pants is released. So no lead jammer. That can go to Texas. They've got 5 minutes. Knocked down Smarty Pants on the inside. Trying to find Texas not allowing Rose to set up in their defensive wall. Polygon coming in, trying to clear some space. Smarty Pants gets through. Lead jammer for Texas, just as another blocker for Rose exits for a penalty.
Yep.
Texas now trying to go.
Yep, they're trying to catch Jess Rivas, which is, yeah, that's not easy.
Of course, you may know Jess Rivas from Denver not too long ago, recently moving up here to the Northwest. Smarty Pants 5 points as lead jammer. Finds an inside lane, gets through, turns 185 more points. They're going to need to really get as many as they can. No hit it and quit it here late in this bout.
Nope.
And another beautiful move by Smarty, turning again the opposite way, lane 4.
She's not discriminating against those lines. She will spin one way or spin the other, but she loves going up that line.
Now, I don't know if she recognizes the other jammer that close. Smarty Pants Rivas, one more spin move, gets through. So she is going to continue, hope that her Texas defense holds back the Rose jammer. 165 to 203. Smarty Pants, Orochi, shimmy.
Here she goes again.
At least one set of hips.
That's great. Well, this time they finally stopped her. She had run up those lines and did that little spin move every single time, and they didn't have an answer for it until now.
4 points for Rose, just as Smarty Pants calls off the jam. She gets 2 more for Texas.
I think she might have got a little winded there at the end of it. That might have been why she was no longer spinning out of it. But that was a great run for Smarty Pants on the track.
Winded, I will pretty much bet that anybody in proximity or viewing this is winded.
Right.
We probably got people at home on the couch with oxygen masks. Give me some water, put down the whiskey. Wow, what an amazing bout this has been. Scald Eagle in, and it looks like that is Jackie Daniels
Yes, it is.
as the jammer.
Scald Eagle did a nice little bounce up, and she's lead jam as she runs around the outside of that. Ripley getting a hold of Jackie Daniels and leveling her in turn number 1.
Scald Eagle so good, getting hit on one hip, but focusing her weight on the other skate to keep from going out of bounds.
Scald Eagle does a nice little fake out, jumps to the inside, and picks up 4 more points.
Jackie Daniels gets through. She scores 4 points.
Jackie Daniels.
Scald Eagle going around the outside, uses the shirt of her teammate to stay in bounds, and that's another 4 on the board.
Great. Another 4.
Now Jackie Daniels having to push against the wall as Rose City was able to set. Scald Eagle towering over any of the any of the blockers that are in for Texas. Stoneher, Trauma, and Polygon.
I love this. Chestnuts has come back, and she's playing some O. And it doesn't matter. The Texas defense right now completely unaffected by any offense, and they are locking down. Well, they were locking down Scald Eagle until she found the hole.
Stoneher tried to fill that gap, but was a little late getting there. Scald Eagle gets through for those 5 points. Jackie Daniels knocked to the outside in turn 3, having to come by all the way back to the backstretch.
And they reset their defense. Rose City has got Jackie Daniels back there. She's taken the cap off. And
handed it to Stoneher. Stoneher now becomes the jammer for Texas. 4 points are awarded. Now Scald Eagle calls it off, looking at the clock, under a minute to go.
Wow.
2:30 to 171. Looks like Rose City is going to come out with a win, but if you didn't have the score on this screen, you would think this is going to go down to the last jam.
Yeah, no, neither one of these teams have given up playing this game. They are really taking it jam by jam, and they are fighting very, very hard every inch of the way.
A lot of people talking on the Face Twitter books earlier, talking about how this could be a potential rematch or a matchup looking forward to the championships. We got a long way to go, but if that is any opportunity later, one, we'll be very happy. 2, Texas going to come down on the losing end of this, but not without their best effort this whole weekend, for sure, compared to their VRDL and their Denver game.
Very cool start. They're starting in between the pivot and jam line. Lauren Much is a jammer for the Wheels of Justice.
Smarty Pants playing defensively before she goes, trying to create some space quickly. Rose City gets back in their walls.
What? That was unusual. Fifi Namanon up. They finally got their defense locked on Lauren Much.
Lead jammer for the Texecutioners.
And we've got both jammers out. One blocker with a penalty. Smarty Pants gets through, turns 180, gets those points. She's going to have to work very hard. She's in lead, but just not enough time, as we're about 1 minute and 20 seconds in this jam. Texas dare not call it off. They do have a timeout, but and they use it. Okay,
with
so
1 second on the clock, they did manage to get that call in there.
1 second on the
so now up to 175 to 237. As much as I would love to see Texas come back, that was far too many points. However, they are looking to see if they can at least win the final 2 jams. Some kind of momentum that they can take back to Texas. Rose City looking very impressive.
And day 2 of the Big O, you think?
And they're starting to wave over there.
Ophelia Mellons has got the wave going.
I believe that was created, by Ophelia Mellons.
Yeah, go figure.
She doesn't have derby spunk, does she?
No, there's no spunk in that person over there. She's another one of those wonderful transplants. She showed up in Rose City earlier this year, and I could not be happier to have her.
But apparently it does.
She's joined by announcing squad up there, and she is playing for the Wheels of Justice.
Texas arm in arm, hand in hand, standing true together. Such good team camaraderie. Bloody Mary jamming for Texas, looking for the inside line. She finds it, lead jammer, Texas.
Liquor and Split still stuck in that pack. She is getting a waterfall of players abusing her as she's trying to get through. Still stuck in, dragging back to the apex.
Trauma forcing it to go all the way back. Finally getting through is Bloody Mary. 5 points, seeing what they can do with 1:30 to go. They got 183 on the board to 237.
Liquor and Split absolutely getting aced back there by that squad of Texas. They are not letting her go anywhere, and she has been knocked out of bounds and having to restart again.
So now the pack stretched out. Good bit of bitching, but they're going to have to let her go. That is another 5 points for Bloody Mary.
Well, Liquor and Split took off the cap. She still got it in her hand, and she just decided, well, heck with it. I found a hole. I'm getting out of here.
Bloody Mary, go ahead, decides to call it off. Gets 3 points. Matters not enough points to get the win. And an amazing bout, and congratulations to Rose City. King?
Yeah, we got an unofficial final on the board right now. It's 237-191. I think the scorekeepers are going to confer, but unless there's a gross error on the track and the math is bad, I think it's safe to say Rose City has pulled this off today.
Absolutely. So, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here at day 2 at the Big O. We've got one more big whopping day tomorrow.
Cannot wait.
237 to 191, top level derby here in the beautiful green Northwest. It's been such a great day.
Rose City right now taking their victory lap. They're going the way of Victoria and skating backwards.
Mix it up a bit, no harm.
That's a cool little trend they started.
No doubt about it. Much respect to both of these squads.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things that, I talked about earlier is there's a lot of talk about this being a precursor to what could happen later this year. But one of the things that we know is both of these teams have some work to do. Tomorrow, if I'm correct, Rose takes on VRDL.
Just a reminder, ladies and
Rose
gentlemen,
plays
all
Atlanta
things will be
tomorrow.
open until midnight tonight. Get a discount with your wristband.
And, yeah.
A lot of different bouts to go.
Yeah, and one of the most exciting ones you're going to see is the MVP bout, which you can do some voting of your own for that MVP bout.
And I was mistaken. The Victoria is taking on Denver tomorrow, so that is going to be a huge matchup of undefeated teams. Rose takes on Atlanta, who is 0-2 so far this weekend. Rose 2-0, so still a ton of derby to go tomorrow. Tracks 1, 2, and 3 all being streamed, all being broadcast. If you're not here, join us or whoever's on the mic for some more fabulous action. King?
Yes. Yep. The morning starts at 9 o'clock. You got some junior action and some men derby, and it's going to just get better all the way from there. So that's all I got, sir. It was very nice working with you.
Once again, thank you for joining us. That's the King. My name is Chip Queso. It's all about the people on the track. Thank you for joining us. Take a breath, get a beverage. We'll see you back in the morning. Have some coffee with us.
Thank you very much.